everybody, it's Vicky. I thought I would try a little voiceover with this to do some explanation. So with any alcohol ink, you got to start with some paper and then pick your inks. So I don't have real expensive inks. I just have a lot of different colors, so I just decide on which colors I want. I don't really usually have a plan. And then, yeah, you just throw them on the paper. And then this is 99% isopropyl alcohol that I put on there that makes it really liquidy. And then I have a little squeezy thing that pushes the ink around so it's a little puffer. And it pushes that ink in all different directions. And so I added more ink, pushing it around. It's kind of drying as it goes. I had a little splash go up there. That's what made those little bubble looking things. The beauty of this is that it really, I have no idea what it's going to turn out like. That's what I love. It just becomes what it becomes. And once it's dry, then I look at it and I decide what animal I'm going to put in there because they all have different kind of attributes, right? So this one's kind of looking really aquatic to me, and those look like bubbles. So it only made sense that this was going to become a whale. So I get my reference picture and then I make uh, an outline or get an outline from online or have AI create an outline for me. And then this is a light board. If you don't have a light board like this, a big one, you can get one for like 10 bucks on Amazon. They're super cheap. But I like to use a light board because then I can kind of really get it positioned where I want it to go. And then you don't, you can just get that perfect outline. You don't have to be drawing and erasing or whatever on your background. So I'm just using an alcohol ink marker. Now these aren't real expensive markers. And I just used a blending one to kind of trace out my whale. And then I use Q-tips, just a regular old Q-tip to, oh, my phone is ringing. A regular old Q-tip with 99% isopropyl alcohol to kind of carve out the shapes in there and to really take away the ink that's on there and expose the white paper underneath. And then, less alcohol, you'll get, less removed, and more alcohol, more removed. And then I have a paintbrush and I just use alcohol again on the paintbrush and to move the ink around. In this particular one, I didn't really have to add a whole lot of ink, but when I do add ink, I use the markers because the ink in the markers is a lot thicker than the ink that comes out of the bottles, and so it's a lot easier to control. So yeah, I'm just moving that ink around and using the Q-tips, using the alcohol, and that's what I do. That's what I'm doing this whole time, moving those inks around and letting that whale emerge from the background. I feel like with these, the more detail, the better. It's really easy to stop and not get all the detail in there, but they look so much better if you just take your time and get every little bit of detail that you can. So as you can see, I'm just going over it again and again. I didn't add a whole lot of ink to this. I think I said that already, but I did add a little bit of green, a little bit of gray, and then of course for the eye, then I added, the black in there for the eye, the darker colors. I feel like the eyes are really important for when you're doing an animal. The eyes are the window to the soul, or what they say. If you can get the eye right, then the whole thing is going to look amazing. So as you can see, it's coming together. This one came together pretty easily. Some of them don't happen that way. And I love the way that there's so much depth in this background. And it really looks like this whale is just swimming through these beautiful waters. There's where I added a little bit of green to his face there, just needed it. I like to use the background colors in the actual animals. You saw my reference photo there, and there wasn't any green or blue in that beluga whale, but I just like the way it looks. If you use those background colors in the actual animal, it gives a lot of cohesion, I guess, in the piece. So here we go, almost done. All right, this one's called Beluga Dreams.